Howdy, y'all. Today I'd like to discuss a concept called the Stoic Dichotomy of Control. In the past year, I began a project where I wanted to introduce some Stoic ideas I found useful to explore, and one of the concepts that the Stoics often draw attention back toward is this dichotomy, or a twofold dynamic at play when it comes to our power and responsibility of daily experience. Epictetus in Enchiridion delves into the difference between things in our control and things not within our control. He says, some things are within our power, while others are not. Within our power are opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever is of our own doing. Not within our power are our body, our poverty, reputation, office, and, in a word, whatever is not of our doing. See, to him, being able to differentiate from and thus set our focus solely on things within our responsibility, then we may truly be free of suffering from anxiety, a concept they called eudaimonia, which I'll get into in another video. For the Stoics, suffering emanated from the feelings of dread we bring upon ourselves when we struggle against stuff that we can't control. It's honestly quite a simple concept. And I quote from him again, "The chief task in life is simply this, to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Where then do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself to the choices that are my own. What is within my control? According to the Stoics, my responses to things, my opinions, how I conduct myself, my aversions, my pursuits, and my desires. Now, what is not within my control? According to the Stoics, circumstances or fate and the gods, health and body, poverty, reputation, and, most importantly in my opinion, other people's opinions. A few things one tends to notice when it comes to these aspects of our daily lives, many of them kind of tie into one another. Despite being things beyond our control, we have some influence over fate and life. However, if one is born a slave, as Epictetus was, there is not much wiggle room for an individual aspiring for upward status movement. So there had to be available philosophy for those who truly needed a way to cope with being given an extreme example of fate. According to Epictetus, some things are in our control and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever are our own actions. Now, according to Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic, in life, time is a mere instant, existence a flux, perception fogged, bodily composition rotting, mind a whirligig, fortune unpredictable, fame unclear. In short, all things of the body stream away like a river. All things of the mind are dreams and delusion. Life is warfare, and a visit to a strange land. The only lasting fame is oblivion. Now, Marcus Aurelius had a different sort of fate handed to him, but his was one of power. As the Emperor of Rome, his fate definitely lended its own challenges. During the time of Aurelius, Rome was in the midst of brutal fights with Germania, many of which Marcus himself led. One can only imagine the carnage and devastation experienced during such a time. So when I reflect upon the context reading his work, it truly helps me delve into the method of his philosophy. He says, "The foolish are people who are surprised by anything that happens, like travelers amazed at foreign customs." This is from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, which is definitely worth a read. I would like to pose the following questions to my viewers. What do you think is within your control? What do you truly have power over? Is there such a concept of fate and nature that I cannot control? Why should I concern myself with feelings about things I have no power over? To me, this last question is the most poignant, because all of us in life have suffered, but do we suffer needlessly by clinging to things that we cannot control? For me, this is the heart of the matter when it comes to the dichotomy of control, is separating it from what you can have power over and what you can't. That way, you can focus primarily on the things within your control in order to better your life and to let go of things that you cannot control. Now, one can make the argument that many of the things listed as under our control within ancient Stoic framework could be correctly skeptical. However, I do want to stress that an important principle to bear in mind is one of a pragmatic reasoning, as in, yes, perhaps these traits are not within our ultimate control. It would be virtuous to perceive them in this way if we wish to achieve a sense of contentment within our lot in life. See, paying attention to things and being actively engaged in your life is beneficial to at least your sense of worth, and I would argue, sense of revolt toward the dynamics of our lived experience and the suffering therein. Just my thoughts. What are some of yours? Comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my content if you enjoy these types of conversations. Thank you! Special thank you to all my lovely patrons. I so appreciate your support. Also, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can get notifications. Thank you!